President, 3 weeks from now, the Senate Judiciary Committee will hold the confirmation hearing for President Obama's nomination of Elena Kagan to succeed Justice John Paul Stevens as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, just last year, after reviewing her record, a bipartisan majority of the Senate voted to confirm Elena Kagan to be the Solicitor General of the United States, actually the first woman in America's history to serve as Solicitor General. And as distinguished presiding officer knows, that oftentimes the Solicitor General is referred to as the 10th Justice. Not only are we familiar with Elena Kagan from our review of her nomination last year, but we have already received an extraordinary amount of information about her in connection with this nomination. Last week, we received nearly 50,000 pages of documents from the Clinton Library related to Elena Kagan's service in a significant role in the Clinton White House. My initial review of these documents shows her to have been a pragmatic and thoughtful advisor to President Clinton as she helped him to advance the goals of his administration. But as a law clerk to Justice Thurgood Marshall, as a professor, as a policy advisor to the President, as Dean of Harvard Law School, and as Solicitor General of the United States, she appeared to have a clear grasp of how to apply her abilities to meet the challenges of each of these very positions. I might point out in that regard, not only was she the first woman to become Solicitor General, she was the first woman to become Dean of the Harvard Law School. But and I went back and I double-checked with my staff, with Bruce Cohen and Jeremy Paris and others in my staff, and said, have we received, or how does the information we've received on this nomination compare with the Roberts or Alito nominations when there's a Republican president? And I'm told the committee's received more information from the administration than was made available at this point in the confirmation process for either the Roberts or Alito nominations. Last year, we considered President Obama's nomination of Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Although she was confirmed with 68 votes, I was disappointed so many chose to oppose her historic nomination, the first Hispanic to the Supreme Court, only the third woman. I suspected and do suspect that many of those who voted against her confirmation will come to regret their action if they don't already. Regrettably, many of the Senate Republicans, now that President Obama is in the White House, seem to want to apply a different standard from when they were considering President Bush's nominees to the Supreme Court. Now, I welcome questions to Solicitor General Kagan about judicial independence, but let's be fair. No one should have presumed that this intelligent woman, who has excelled during every part of her varied and distinguished career, lacks the independence to serve on the United States Supreme Court. Not so long ago, Republican senators contended that a nominee's judicial philosophy was irrelevant. Now they apparently want to examine something else for which they will call her judicial philosophy or independence. But it's not her philosophy, judgment, or independence that really matters to them. They don't want an independent judiciary. They demand justices who will guarantee the results they want. That's their ideological litmus test. I've rejected 36 years here an ideological litmus test for any nominee. And with the Supreme Court and other nominees, I've voted on thousands and thousands of nominees. I reject the ideological litmus test that Senate Republicans would apply to Supreme Court nominees. Unlike those on the right who drove President Bush to withdraw his nomination of Harriet Miers, and those who oppose Justice Sotomayor, I do not require every Supreme Court nominee to swear fealty to the judicial approach and outcomes ordained by adhering to the narrow views of Justice Scalia and Justice Thomas. I expect judges and justices to faithfully interpret the Constitution and apply the law. and also to look to the legislative intent of our laws and to consider the consequences of their decisions. Based on the review I've made of Solicitor General Kagan's career, I say frankly that I expect she and I will not always agree. I did not agree with every decision that Justice Stevens has written, but I have such enormous respect for his judgment, this giant in the law. I did not always agree with Justice O'Connor, nor with Justice Souter. I have my disagreements with some of Justice Kennedy's decisions, but I've never regretted my vote in favor of their confirmation because I respect their independence.